The Seagulls taking on Redcliffe at Piggleben on Sunday. We turn back the clock a decade to when the two sides met in the Queensland Cup Grand Final at Suncorp and have a chat to some of the Gulls players from that premiership winning side. Today, it's Matt King and James Wood.
What do you remember most about the lead up to that grand final?
Oh, just been an exciting time. I think the occasion didn't really get to too many of us guys. It was kind of those couple of weeks through the semis into that grand final was just a really exciting time for the group as a whole. As you said, a lot of young blokes involved, a few older heads that kind of guided our way, and a little bit of experience there. But there's just a lot of energy around the group. Was the main thing I remember.
That was just a good time. Like, we never expected to get, did we? We never expected to be there. We never expected to see that in our lifetime, to be able to do something like that.
The other aspect of that season was, they're the wealthies, Redcliffe, all the money of the Leagues Club, and Seagulls. That was a long while ago when it was a wealthy Leagues Club and looked like a cash-up pub at this level. Look back at those times now. Does that make it a bit more significant what you young guys were able to do?
No, we just expected that, mate. Like, I don't know, in the Gold Coast Rugby League, Seagulls has been a powerhouse, but in the statewide competition, we were always the people that just punched above our weight and just got results, and that's what we expected. We never cared.
No,
we
we're
against
both
them,
here from the early days. Yeah. You know, Woodsy was here 03, I came in 04. It was never a club built on money or expectation. It was more kind of just, creating that group, playing for each other. That mateship that kind of got you through, and the fact that you don't want to let your mates down. So I think that's what it was mainly driven by. Like, nothing. It wasn't an us against them mentality because they had the money or anything like that. It was just a confidence within ourselves that we didn't want to let our mates down, really.
You're both here now. Matt, you was assistant coach, and Woodsy still playing. So we're now a decade on. The significance of this Sunday when we remember it, play Redcliffe again, and again still a club punching above their weight.
Oh, mate. Yeah, it doesn't feel like 10 years, to tell you the truth. It's scary. I looked at some footage the other day, and Timmy gave me a couple of old tapes, and I had a look, and it doesn't feel like 10 years. It looks like it's been 10 years when you look at all of us blokes now, us now, and some of us guys back then, but it doesn't feel like 10 years. But I'll tell you what, that side that we had then, I've watched some tapes and I've compared them to some of the sides around now, and I'm still playing now, and some of the Seagulls sides that have been since then, and mate, we were an exceptional football team. Like, there's some stuff I didn't realise we were that good until I've seen some of the tapes and some of the stuff we did especially at the age we did, and we're all kids, and the maturity we had, and I was really impressed. So.
I spoke to him earlier today. Is he too hard with Brad Davis and Tim McCann, who obviously do want to talk about themselves, but you were part of the spine at that time. How do you describe their contribution, and what they were like as a Queensland Cup pairing?
Baz's record speaks for itself. To be named captain of the 20-year team, whatever it is exceptional. It just goes to show how much he is respected from within his playing group and also within the competition. But for me, like you say, being part of that spine, the best way to describe it was probably easy. We all knew our roles. We could look at each other, or just a slight little direction from Baz or Timmy saying, get me to this point, I'd take control, then I'd just wait for one of those two. Like, the way we played was easy. We didn't overcomplicate things or try and tell each other what to do too much. So it just rolled, and it allowed everyone else around them to do their job.
Lastly, Woodsy, this Sunday against Redcliffe, with a lot of these guys watching the game, coming together, what effect do you hope it will have on the current side?
Oh, mate, if anything, I think just as a club, I think that we've had a big turnover of players. There's not a lot that's old anymore. That everything's sort of new and fresh all the time, and I just think some of that fighting spirit and that punching above your weight and that expectation to just go out there and expect to go out and win and play well, which we sort of prided ourselves on. I mean, hopefully, I think the boys are going to come and have a bit of a dinner and have a bit of a socialise with some of the guys, maybe see some footage. So hopefully, they might see what it took for us back then to be able to achieve what we achieved. I mean, it didn't just happen. We were kids. The senior players in our team were 24, 25 years old then, except for probably Friendy. He was about 45 back then. But look, sorry Friendy too, mate. But look, I think that's important because, I mean, nothing came to us for nothing. Like Burjo flogged the guts out of us, and that was probably the difference in the end of the day. Was Burjo just absolutely hammered us for a whole pre-season, and I think he told Troge, mate, these guys are going to struggle early, but they're going to come home with a wet sail, and we did. And I think Troge gave us the scope to be able to do what we want. He gave us a simple structure and didn't overcoach us. And mate, hopefully that these guys can just take a little bit of that away. And I mean, they're the memories that I remember most when I look back at my football career. Those couple of years around, 07, 2008, all the way to about 2011, they were probably my fondest years. I've been playing since I was 7. I'm 32 now, so they're probably the best years in terms of my football career. And around that time, I've made lifelong friends. We've all seen each other have kids and get married, and it was a special time. So hopefully these guys can see that and want it for themselves. But